What's up, YouTube? So I'm back at it again. Basically, what I'm going to do is drop my transmission one more time. So I had basically put it all back together for the second time, and I think my slave cylinder's fine, my master cylinder's fine, but I think that there's might be a bolt loose in my transmission. So basically what happens is it will, let me actually show you guys here. See if I can get in the door. Hold on one second. Excuse the mess. So you guys will notice normally, right now it's all my cables are unhooked, but normally I would put it in gear, and the transmission goes in every gear, no issues. Problem is to turn the car on, basically it wouldn't go in gear at all. So I know it's not my master or my slave, and the real reason being is because a lot of people think that you need to, bleed your clutch lines and all that shit when you're dropping your transmission. But in all reality, when you remove your slave cylinder and your master cylinder, and you basically aren't breaking any fluids through the clutch line, you can still get full pressure. You shouldn't have any issues with your clutch. So that's basically where I'm at. So I'm going to show you guys basically a quick route. I will probably end up upgrading my master and my slave anyways, but where I'm at right now, lifted up everything, took off the lines, or my shifter cables, and basically unplugged all the cables from the transmission, unbolted the left bolt from the starter, unbolted the front mount, unbolted the rear mount, and I'm going to do the two underneath. And so I want to show you guys something. The nut on this side, on the axle nut, is completely shot, dude. So there's no way of getting it off unless I cut it. I don't feel like doing all that. So how I go about it is I will basically remove it from the transmission and take off the two bolts from my lower strut and my knuckle, let that drop, and that basically will go with the 4 bolts from the subframe. And so once I drop that, this all drops, the axle drops, and then basically, what I've been doing is removing the lower control arm. So this bolt here and this bolt on right here, I don't know if you can see that, but basically I remove those 2 bolts, and it allows me to basically drop everything down. And the other side, I don't have a flashlight, so I can't really show you guys. I wish I did. On the other side, on the axle, you can see this guy is free, so take that nut off. Axle's free, so I don't have to drop anything. You'll basically remove your tie rod ends, or not your tie rod, your sway bar end links, and I just put brand new ones of those on. And again, so I'm going to remove basically the 4 main bolts from the subframe. There's one somewhere around there, that one, and there's one back here, straight back here underneath, and the 2 on the other side. With all the mount bolts loose on the axle, there's 3 bolts in there on the axle, which I'll show you guys if I can. That will allow me to remove the intermediate shaft, pull out the axle, and then the whole subframe comes down. Axles are off, and then you're just being held up by the 2 main mounts, which is the passenger side mount and the driver's side mount. So what I will essentially do is I will support the motor with one of my jacks, and the other jack I will put underneath the transmission, take off all 6 of the bolts in the transmission, and wiggle that shit free by yourself. It's fucking pretty hard to do by yourself, but again, it's not impossible. This is the 3rd time I'm going to be attempting this. I'm not a master mechanic, but I've done this enough times to basically go through this in my mind without even having to read the car or go through the car shit. So yeah, I do want to do a bunch of stuff to the car as far as tucking and cleaning up, but in all reality, I don't really give a shit. I just want to get this car driving again. I have 2 cars that I typically work on, and I work for Honda. So what my ultimate goal is get this running. I will eventually, once I get another car, I will eventually start building this car the way I really want it, which what I want to do is basically a Rotrex kit, K24 Rotrex, and basically make this fucking thing all-wheel drive, dude. And that's what my ultimate goal is, but again, I don't know if I'll ever get to that point, being that it's just limited income at this point. So I should hopefully be receiving a nice big promotion, and then if that's the case, then it's like, well, why build this fucking thing when I can just buy a Type R or a Supra at that point? And that's really where I'm working at. So hopefully this video helps you guys. If you guys have any questions, please DM me. If you have an Rsx, I can walk you through anything you need to know about this car. I'm 100% familiar with this car. I've had 2 of them. I've built them both from scratch, interior and exterior. So again, I've had them fully gutted and put them all back together more than 10 times. So again, that's just from personal experience, helping friends and family. So again, changing clutches, if you have any questions, intake manifold, how to remove that, fuel systems, just going through little things. I've had probably everything that could go wrong on an Rsx go wrong, and I've been able to fix it and overcome it. So hopefully you guys understand, like, I'm here to help you in any way possible. That's just the kind of person I am. So if you like this video, awesome, thumbs up. If again, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm not, trying to make money off this shit. I just put it out here because I'm bored and this is what I'm doing, and I figured I'd share it. So thank you guys for watching. Again, hit me up later.